Hey, Mike, can you help me out here?
Sure, what's the matter?
I'm having a problem figuring out why the left rear door lock doesn't work.
Well, I see you're using the diagnostic manual and the DRB III scan tool. Looks like you're halfway there.
Looks can be deceiving. I'm still not exactly clear on how all these electronic modules work together.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you help me out with this month's MasterTech, Grand Cherokee Body Electrical Part 2. The focus is on diagnostics, so by the end of the program, you should feel pretty comfortable diagnosing any electrical problem on the Grand Cherokee.
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay. Grand Cherokee Body Electrical Part 1 highlighted electrical features. And a topic that was hit on again and again was vehicle communications over the C2D bus.
Yeah, I remember. It seems like all communications go over the bus.
Well, not all. The base radio, controller anti-lock brake, speed proportional steering, and heated seat modules don't communicate over the bus, but all the other modules do. Three modules that play key roles in Grand Cherokee's body electrical system are the body control module and the driver and passenger door modules. Now, if you look on pages 4 and 5 of October's reference book, you'll see just how many features the BCM either provides or supports.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Well, it really is. But what's equally important to understand is the way in which the messages controlling these functions are sent.
You mean resistive multiplexing?
Exactly. Resistive multiplexing minimizes the vehicle's wiring by controlling many functions over the same circuit.
I remember the remote radio switch example in the video. The BCM translated the voltage signals from the steering wheel switches and then set the appropriate command to the radio.
That's right.
You mentioned door modules. I know that they play a key role in the door lock problem I'm faced with right now.
Well, that's true. But besides controlling the power locks, they also control memory recall, remote keyless entry, power windows and mirrors, the illumination of window and mirror directional switches, and the door courtesy lamps. But we'll get to that a little bit later. If we want a thorough understanding of how to tackle this vehicle's body electrical system, we have to start at the beginning, the manual. Once we cover the Body Diagnostic Procedures Manual, we'll proceed to the DRB III scan tool operation, and then work on the door lock problem you're faced with now.
Sounds good to me.
All right, then. Let's get started.
All right.
The Body Diagnostic Procedures Manual is a bit different from last year's, so it's a good idea to review the entire manual prior to jumping into any diagnostic procedure.
It doesn't look like a quick read. How much time do you recommend?
Well, enough time to understand how the manual works, which shouldn't take too long. The focus of the manual is Section 7, Diagnostic Information and Procedures. The sections leading up to Section 7 and those following both provide general information.
Well, I can see they've labeled general information sections in the side margin. Is there anything special I need to know about the general information sections?
Well, Sections 3 and 4 can be pretty helpful. Section 3 describes the various electrical systems on the vehicle and also provides diagnostic trouble code information. Section 4 provides component locations and their connector pinouts. Another section that can be helpful is Section 10, schematic diagrams.
The most important section, though, is Section 7, right?
Well, it's the section you'll use most often. It's where all the diagnostic tests are located. The most important thing you need to remember about Section 7 is to always start troubleshooting by performing Symptom ID Test 1A.
Why's that?
Well, by doing so, your chances of error are greatly reduced. In addition to diagnostic trouble codes, Test 1A is driven by symptoms and will consistently lead you to the procedure that corresponds to the symptoms you're experiencing. Just find the system you're troubleshooting at the bottom of the page, and the Symptom ID Test 1A directs you to the appropriate test.
Okay.
Use the side headers or the table of contents to locate the system. The systems are arranged alphabetically. Once you find the system, look up the test.
Okay, let me work through this with the diagnostic trouble code to make sure I understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's say I perform step 3, read DTCs, and trouble code horn relay short is displayed on the DRB III scan tool. I'm then directed to symptom ID test 1B. Horn relay short in test 1B directs me to vehicle theft security system test 4A. I could use the table of contents to find vehicle theft security, but instead I'll use these side headers. And once I'm in the Vehicle Theft Security System section, I just have to find Test 4A. And as it turns out, Test 4A is repairing the VTSS horn circuit. I then perform the steps in the flow chart until I make the repair. Well, this seems simple enough. Is there anything else?
Just one more thing. After the repair has been made, the manual will then direct you to a verification test located at the end of Section 7. For example, let's say that you've finished Test 4A by replacing the body control module. The asterisk in the last flowchart box refers you to the bottom of the page, which then directs you to Verification Test 3A, which is on page 517. The verification test ensures that you complete the last step of the 6-step troubleshooting procedure, verify operation. Now, before we move on, let me ask you a question, which I'll also direct to the audience in general. Where in the Body Diagnostic Procedures Manual should you always begin when troubleshooting?
Well, that's easy. Symptom ID, Test 1A.
Well, it's easy, but important. Remember, if you always start at Symptom ID Test 1A, you're less likely to make mistakes. All right, let's move on to the DRB III scan tool.
I'm sure you noticed when you were working earlier with the DRB III scan tool that there are a lot more functions concerning the Grand Cherokee than there were last year.
Actually, I think that may have led to some of my confusion. I'm not used to relying heavily on the scan tool when working on Grand Cherokee's body electrical system.
It's true that you'll have to use it a lot more now, but when you realize how helpful it is, I think you'll grow to appreciate it more. The same rule regarding the Body Diagnostic Procedures Manual holds true for the DRB III scan tool. Begin with Symptom Identification Test 1A. The test leads you through the hookup procedures, and if there is a malfunction with the scan tool, the Body Diagnostic Procedures Manual will direct you to the appropriate corrective steps. When diagnosing the body system, the first 3 steps are always the same. Let's follow along.
Okay.
Connect the DRB III to the data link connector. Then turn the ignition on. Select Standalone DRB III. Select Body System, then Body Computer. Step 2 in Test 1A gives you directions if the DRB fails to display bus operational or if the display is no response. Now select Read DTCs. If any trouble codes are present, go to the Symptom Identification Test 1B.
And if no trouble codes are present, but I'm having problems with a particular system, the list at the bottom of Symptom ID Test 1A will direct me to the appropriate system test. So I should go through this procedure every time I'm working on the body system with the DRB III?
That's correct. Now, let's explore some of the diagnostic capabilities of the DRB III scan tool. Let's first go back to the main menu. Select option number 9, Customer Preferences. This allows you to enable programmable features and to program the RKE without having to go into the body system. In the October MasterTech, we discussed the customer programmable features that are enabled at the dealership.
You mean like rolling door locks?
Well, that's one of them. Now, the others are low fuel chime, auto headlamps with wipers, RKE horn chirp disable, and the RKE door unlock mode. You can also enable these features by going into the body system. Okay, let's get into the body system. The screen you see now is a standardized screen for all Chrysler vehicles, so some of the options won't apply to every vehicle. For example, since the Grand Cherokee has a mechanical instrument cluster, the electronic instrument cluster listed wouldn't apply.
The same must be true about the Compass Mini Trip computer. Grand Cherokee doesn't have Otis or Compass Temp.
Exactly. Another thing to keep in mind on this particular screen is that there are 2 screens. Hit page forward. And page 2 displays the memory seat module, door modules, and the vehicle information center. All right, let's go back to page 1 and get into the body computer.
Okay.
After you select body computer, select module display. This screen will tell you 2 things: whether the Vehicle Theft Security System, or VTSS, has been enabled, and whether it's been initialized.
VTSS is initialized after 20 engine starts. If it's not enabled or initialized, the DRB screen will not say with VTSS. Let's go back to the previous menu. The monitor display is useful because it allows you to concentrate on specific areas of concern. For example, let's say you're working on the wiper system. Wiper system monitor will display a lot of information regarding wiper operation. All right, go into the wiper system monitor. Notice what happens to the park switch as the wipers move.
Well, the switch changes states. The switch closes when the wipers are down and opens when the wipers move up.
Another thing you can check is intermittent operation. Look at the intermittent wiper relay display.
Oh yeah, I see. The relay is off when the wipers are down and turns on when the wipers move.
Now, do you see how the monitor display can be helpful?
You bet. It's a quick way to find out if the relays and switches are operating correctly.
That's right. And you can use the monitor screen in combination with the actuator test screen to narrow down causes of potential problems.
All right, try the wiper actuator test. All right, here's a hypothetical situation. Let's say that the wipers work when the actuator test is performed, but don't operate when activated from the switch. All right, what causes can you rule out?
Well, since the actuator test activates the wipers, we know that the wiper motor's working, so we could rule that out.
That's good. You'd also probably want to go back to the monitor screen and check out the switch states to see if the problem is in the switches as you depress them.
The body diagnostic manual should lead me to the cause regardless, though, right?
Of course. But what we're doing now is just getting a feel of the scan tool's usefulness in troubleshooting situations. You should always use the scan tool in combination with the body diagnostics manual. Now, I mentioned earlier that the programmable features can also be activated when you're in the body system. All right, select Miscellaneous.
Not all the programmable features are displayed.
That's because we're in the body computer system. The body computer only controls
Low fuel chime, enable VTSS, RKE horn chirp, and auto headlamps with wipers.
auto door locks, and the RKE functions are controlled by the door modules. To get to the door module screen, we have to go back to the body system screen.
No problem.
All right, now select Door Modules. Then select Sensors. Sensors is a very functional screen.
Oh, wow. You can actually check current draw.
But the windows must be operated from the driver's door switch in order to read current draw.
What about the input-output option?
Well, let's check it out. All right, the input-output screen shows the switch states for the locks and windows. However, only driver and front passenger door switch states are shown.
I see the door modules also have an actuator test. I guess you could narrow down potential causes of a problem by using the input-output screen along with the actuator test, which is similar to what we did in the body computer system.
Hey, you're catching on fast. You know, I think we're ready to put what we've learned into action and tackle the door lock problem you were working on earlier.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'll tell you what, why don't you lead me through the diagnostic steps? I'll help you out if you run into problems or have any questions.
Sounds good. Well, I guess the first step in any problem is to verify the complaint. So let's make sure the left rear door lock is not working.
Well, the left rear door lock doesn't seem to work, and I've tried both switches.
Well, let's proceed with diagnostics, beginning with symptom ID test 1A in the body diagnostic manual. With the DRB III scan tool connected and the ignition on, select body, then body computer. Okay. Now select read DTCs.
Well, no DTCs are recorded.
Since no trouble codes are recorded, I go to step 4. The problem is with the power door lock system, so we need to perform power door lock test 1A, which starts on page 240.
Now, I don't mean to interrupt, but the wiring diagram on page 240 provides us with a good opportunity to go over how this system theoretically works.
Hey, feel free to jump in anytime.
Thanks.
All right, first of all, it's important to understand which modules control which locks. The driver door module controls only the driver door lock motor. The passenger door module controls all the others, including the left rear. It's also important to know that the door lock switches are integral to the door modules. All right, just by looking at this schematic, you can get a good feel of the roles the driver and passenger door modules play. When the driver power lock switch is activated, the driver door module activates the left front door lock motor and sends a bus message to the passenger door module, which then activates the other door lock motors. Conversely, when the passenger power lock switch is activated, the passenger door module activates the right front, right rear, lift gate, and left rear door lock motors, and also sends a bus message to the driver door module, which in turn activates the left front door lock motor. Now, to make sure we understand this setup, let's try a hypothetical. What is most likely the cause if the following conditions are present? The driver's power lock switch only activates the left front door lock, and the passenger's power lock switch activates all the locks except the left front door.
I'd have to say there's a problem in the C²D bus circuit between the driver door module and the passenger door module. Since each module can only activate its hardwired lock motors, something is preventing the modules from sending messages to each other.
Right. Well, good job. All right, just keep in mind that the Body Diagnostics Procedures Manual would have also led you to the same conclusion. Here's a question that hits closer to home. What can we rule out as a cause for the problem we're diagnosing now?
I think we can rule out problems with the driver and passenger door modules. Since the other locks operate when activated from either module, I would think that the problem is due to a bad left rear lock motor circuit or the motor itself.
Well, let's see if you're right.
Okay. Well, to continue on, we need to get into the door module screen on the DRB III. Lower both front door windows. Remove the key from the ignition switch. And lock and unlock the doors from both door switches.
I take it we're verifying the complaint according to the test.
Right. And it looks like we've come to the same conclusion. The left rear door lock is the only lock that's not working. According to step 4, we have a problem when one door fails to lock and unlock. So we need to perform test 2A. Test 2A tells us to do the following. Disconnect the left rear door lock motor connector and probe the lock driver circuit with a test light. Okay, Mike, let's see if the light flashes when I use the actuator test to activate the lock relay.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, it lights.
Now we have to probe the unlock cavity. Again, let's see if the light flashes when I activate the unlock relay.
No, it doesn't light up. I'd say we have a problem with the unlock circuit.
Looks like we have an open circuit.
Well, judging from the schematic on page 242, the open must be somewhere between the liftgate lock motor unlock circuit splice and the connector to the left rear door lock motor.
We're going to need the service manual for a little more detail.
You're right. Let's take a look.
Since all the locks operate except the left rear, the open must be between connector C381 and splice S308.
It'll probably be easiest to work from the motor to the splice instead of the other way around. So let's check if the open is between connectors 381 and 309 first.
381 is the connector to the lock motor, which is already disconnected. So we just need to disconnect 309, which is the body-to-door connector, and check for continuity along the unlocked driver circuit between the connectors.
Nope, there's no continuity. It looks like we've isolated the problem.
We just need to find the brake in the harness. Well, I'm happy to say that the harness has been repaired.
Great. We just need to perform verification test 2A. If everything checks out, we've solved the problem.
According to verification test 2A, we must do the following. Reconnect all disconnected components. Turn the ignition on. Erase any trouble codes using the DRB III. And finally, turn the key off, wait 10 seconds, and then turn the ignition back on. And now for the moment of truth. Let's see if the lock works.
Never a doubt in my mind.
Well, there's still one step remaining. And we need to check if there are any body control module trouble codes present.
No trouble codes present.
We've solved the problem then. This really wasn't as difficult as I originally thought. Thanks for clearing things up.
Happy to oblige. As long as you stick to the procedures in the manual and have a good understanding of the systems involved, diagnostics won't be a problem. Well, that takes care of this month's program. We'll see you next month on MasterTech.